What's going on, guys? Give me like a 30-second countdown. We'll get started. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Mystic Rick's Crypto Picks. I'm your host, Rick. And as everybody's joining in, if you haven't already, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. It helps the YouTube algorithm so that others can see my content. And please make sure to take the time, watch my other videos, and share my content to your social media, whether it's YouTube, your channels, whether that's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. I really appreciate your love and support. And as we get started today, there's lots of things we can look at. First of all, I'd like to start off with looking at the overall market watch. So we could do a refresh on that. And we could check out market cap. Overall market cap, $1.46 trillion. Top gainer of the day is BurnX 2.0 with a 43,000% pump. Second, Scalaxium, and third is Polymath Finance. Top losers, Bitcoin X, 82.5%. Louvre Finance, 74.6%. And Einsteinium, 61.6%. We got Bitcoin, it's up 2.21% for the day, $645 billion market cap and a price of 34,481. Ethereum with a 2.21% also, identical. $2,200 price, $255 billion market cap. And we got USDT and Binance in a close second and third. USDT coming in with a $62 billion market cap, and BNB up 2.69% for a price of $294.27 and a $45 billion market cap. And look at Cardano popping up on the major scale of market cap with 44 billion. Only $1 billion of flipping Binance. Now that is interesting right there. That is very interesting. Now if we come down here to Bitcoin, Bitcoin coming in at 43.83% dominance. Ethereum 17.34% dominance. Very interesting. And total altcoins coming in at 36.43% dominance. And welcome in, guys. Welcome in. Oh, did I close the wrong one? Is this the right one? What's going on, guys? What's going on? I don't know why the font is so ridiculously huge. but we're gonna roll with it today. What's going on, Debbie? What's going on, Amateur? And we're gonna take a look at the Bitcoin price and do some analysis on it. So this is the weekly time frame, and so what I want to do with this right now is I'm actually going to turn on the 21-week EMA. Oops, it's not the right one. Move it average exponential. So we're gonna have a look at the 21-week EMA. So as you can see right now, we have full 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 closes below the 21-week EMA, and we're working on the 7th week. Now, it's funny that they try to pull up historical data, right? And I'm talking in terms of other influencers. We can go back to 2013, 2014, so you guys can see this, right? Now, as you can see, we wicked below, then back above, right? This was a head fake. And then when we fully closed below, this bull run was over. Okay, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks below. 8 weeks below. And then we wicked above. Now, this action right here, this is what's called a reaction rally or a relief rally. Okay, it was an attempt to retest the all-time high, which relief rallies always fail and crash harder than the initial crash. Okay, so we can measure that out. From the peak of this run, we came down after the fall below the 20-week EMA. We came down 70%. Okay, 70%. And then after the reaction rally, we would come back down a total of another 74% from there. Okay, so overall drop from peak to bottom is about 85%. Moving forward, when we go into 2017, 2018 bull run, right? We come in here, we had the testing of the 20-week EMA, so we had a fake out, only one close below it. Then we wicked back above it, right? And then we would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks below it, a reaction rally to retest again. So that's what this is, right? Well, this is more of your reaction rally. This right here was just a head fake. Okay, it's just a head fake, and then it can't continue right back to normal action. So this is your reaction rally right here. It was a failed attempt, then came right back down. Okay, it only had 1 week close above the 20-week EMA, and then as you can see, we had the heinous drop. Overall drop in this bull run, 84%. Right, give or take about 83%. Okay. Moving forward, this is the euphoria rally of 2019. Okay, we had our peak here on June 24th. We came down below the 21-week EMA for 1, 2, 3 weeks. So you have your your close below it, and then a 1, 2, 3 weeks of confirmation. Okay, so 3 weeks was enough to make it a true close below. We had a reaction rally, retest, it failed, and then came back down. Several closes below, reaction rally, failed test, heinous drop below. Okay, and this was all of the pandemic action. Okay, overall drop from that 2019 to the and we'll just use 2019. We won't add the pandemic in, but 53% drop. Okay, if you want to add that into the data, there was overall 71% drop. Okay, so you have some influencers that would say, hey, you know, once we start closing below the 21-week EMA, that's a sign that the bull run is over. Okay, as you can see here, on the whole front side of a bull run, no closes below it. All the way back here to the 2013, 2014. Okay, during the front side of the bull run, no closes below it. As soon as we started closing below it, that was it. That was all she wrote, ladies and gents. That was all she wrote. So now coming forward to this bull run, okay, we had a close below, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks of confirmation and working on the 6, and we are hilariously below the 21-week EMA. Okay, stop letting them fool you guys and saying that, you know, 100,000 is in the works. Yes, we could always come up and do a retest of the all-time high. That would be what's called the reaction rally. This little rally in price we just had the other day, that's not a reaction rally. Not on the weekly time frame. It's a reaction rally on the daily time frame, but not on the weekly time frame. If that makes sense to everybody. The Wyckoff Buffets D is supposedly playing out. That's because he's delusional, right? He's trying to overlay it on something that was designed for a daily time frame. Look, when he first created it, it was, oh well, it's fitting the daily time frame perfect. Then it changed to fitting the 12-hour and the 8-hour and the 4-hour. Now someone else is using it on the hour, right? Do you know what that is? That's called psychological warfare. Right? Psychological warfare. I showed you guys how the wick off is supposed to be used. I showed you guys the true structure of every run, and I showed you how my theory, when stacked against the wick off, the full-blown wick off, actually works. Okay, you cannot have an accumulation attached to a distribution. There's either a markup or a markdown in between. And what I mean by that is, this is your micro accumulation. This is your macro accumulation. Okay. What splits accumulations? A markup. This is your macro distribution. What splits it? A markup. You can't have macro distribution without micro distribution. What splits it? A markdown. You can't have a micro distribution and a macro accumulation without what? A markdown. The next heinous dump you see that goes below these two support lines of 30,000 and 28,000 is when we will be in this markdown. Does that clarify things for everybody? Yeah, he has a bullish bias. Now, I will say this for Crypto, okay? He is not a bad guy. Yes, is he delusionally bullish? Yes. But I don't think he has a bad bone in his body. He is just, I mean, you can look at his thumbnails and tell that the guy is just, this is his passion, you know? It's his passion. However, a passion for yourself can be dangerous to others. right? Especially if he just doesn't know that he's showing people the wrong chart. Right? That he's showing people the wrong chart. And what I mean by that is, what's to stop me from telling everybody that all of this here was um, accumulation, right? The last phase E of accumulation, right? What's to stop me from doing that? If that's what I truly believe in my heart's happening, and if my followers don't know any better, and that's what I'm showing them, what do you think they're gonna think? No, no, Debbie. It's done on the daily. Yeah, he's lost it, Nabil. What's going on, Eth Maxi? And as you guys are watching, please make sure to hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. EOD Vet says a decreasing market isn't a bad thing. More adoption and more people being able to build confidence in it. You're right, EOD Vet. It's the laws of physics. What goes up must come down. But what's down is not promised to go up. Right? And I have a couple of theories that actually work in this market, right? What do you see happen when price crashes too fast? Right? Price crashes too fast, it'll bounce, right? But if price slowly works its way down, it gets there naturally. So people that want it to fall to 25K tomorrow, it's not realistic because it's actually dangerous for the market for it to plunge that fast and stay there, right? It would bounce. So a declining market is not bad as long as a declining market is used in a proper manner. Think about this for a second. If I was on a 10-foot tree and hit you with a penny in the top of your head, would it kill you? No. But if I throw a penny off of the building in Dubai, right? The what did they call it? The Burj Khalifa or Burj Khalifa. The penny would actually kill you. And what I mean by that is a penny bad? No. But from certain heights, that penny can be fatal. And so that's why when markets crash too fast, it's a long-lasting effect to the market. Because it causes panic, right? Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn this the 21-week EMA off. We're gonna come down to the daily time frame. Okay. So the guys are showing you this on a daily time frame. This is what they're doing, right? When they show you the wick off on a daily time frame, this is what they show you. Okay. Well, shit. Check this out. If I showed you wick off accumulation like that, look at phase A. Would you not, if you didn't know any better, believe we're in accumulation if I showed it to you like that? With that decline starting the accumulation? Right? Look at that. Would you not believe it? If I showed you distribution on the time frame, but what they're not showing you is that before this phase A of distribution was a markup. After this phase E is a markdown, a micro distribution, and then another markdown. Okay, You can't have an accumulation and a distribution together. It's not how it works. Nabil, well, you got to remember what gets shown in the Nasdaq now. Bitcoin, right? If you go watch, watch it on TV, Bitcoin is a ticker on like the Nasdaq or the Dow or one of the two. But yes, there are some correlations there. Not how stocks work, but overall market. Because the institutions and corporations that have their money in this market, if their stocks are about to take a big dump, what do you think they're going to do to hedge and protect their companies with? They're going to cash out their Bitcoin, right? If we were going to face another major crash, which it's looking like we could face a great reset, do you think that these institutions and corporations aren't going to cash out all these Bitcoin profits to protect against the loss that their companies and institutions or corporation institutions are taking? They're going to sell that Bitcoin in a heartbeat. You got to think, Tesla's 10% up here that they sold was more money than they made selling the cars in 12 months. Just 10% of their Bitcoin sell. Think about that. So if Tesla was about to take a 30% hit on its stock because of a great crash, you think they wouldn't sell at least another 50% of their Bitcoin to protect against the loss? And put it like this. Um, Tesla selling 50% of their Bitcoin right now would drop the market about 10%. Amazon is in the Amazon stock. Well, right now, Nabil, I wouldn't worry about actual individual stocks. I'd worry about the overall market, right? Because the overall market will crash everything. No matter how good your stock's doing, right? In 2008, when the market crashed, everything crashed together, right? Well, it just double topped, so I'd expect a retest of $3,400, right? Possibly 33 high, 3,300 high. Um, but if you, yeah, and I mean it could go up a little bit more, but I'd be cautious at a double top in price, right? Yeah. So try to draw this out for you guys. Okay. So let me show you how my theory is gonna change the game, right? So this is your markup One, this is your micro accumulation. This is your secondary markup. And this is your macro distribution. So whenever it completes macro distribution, it's going to be a markdown. And I'd say expect a markdown of about anywhere from about 28% to about 35%. If you do that in price, expect about $1,100 price drop. Does that help, Nabil, answer your questions? I hope that helps you out. I'm here to help everybody today. Yeah, if Amazon's going down, the whole market's crashing with it. If Amazon takes a drop like that, it's because, again, the whole market is crashing, right? Now, again, what I showed you guys the other day, right? Price makes this massive run, but RSI is making a decline. Now, what do you guys notice about that for those that weren't on the other day? Okay. As price is setting higher highs, right? It's setting higher highs and higher lows consecutively, right? Until the peak. But RSI way back here had already reached extremely overbought, right? An extremely overbought level of 89 and has started to decline weeks and weeks before peak price. That is indicative of an incoming bear market. Because if you look here, resistance, resistance, double top resistance, resistance, macro double top, okay? And you know, you can even change that and bring the trajectory down, but it doesn't change the fact that they still met resistance along the way, and RSI is steadily declining and declining and declining, and the price is about to come down because it attempted to double top here. So a micro and a macro double top. So markdown number 2 is coming soon. Okay. And when I tell you guys, like, you know, you're gonna learn truths on this channel because, you know, if you listen to, you know, if you look at some of these thumbnails, big boy saying, oh, well, you know, and this is what they do, right? On the backside of a bull run, you have one green day, and it's, oh, here we are, we're back to, you know, $1 million trillion, right? $1 trillion. But if you listen to his analysis of Carl from the Moon, you know, it's like, well, wait a minute, big boy. Just a few weeks ago, you said 47K, it would never go below it ever again. And then you also said if we went below 37 to 35K, that this run was over, that there wasn't enough time left to have a retracement that far, that it was absolutely over. Well, we've been steadily below it, above it and back below it, above it and back below it, above it and back below it, and way below it. And in his video yesterday, he says, well, if the run ends right now, then I think the absolute bottom would be that $11,000 to $13,000. Whoa, wait a minute. Whoa, wait a minute. Something smells fishy. So RSI could do something like this, right? We'll come down and just keep working this zone. Eventually it's going to break out. and it's going to break out one or two ways. Okay, it's either going to chop out and just go through it and keep doing its thing, or we're going to get another rejection and keep coming down and then bust through the bottom, and that will be a heinous drop, and then we come through. Or one of these soon to be are just going to go straight through it. Those are your three scenarios with this descending triangle of RSI. Okay. But from where it's at now, it's in striking distance to come down and retest 32. So no return to 36K in the near future. Should have kept my short open. And of course for the YouTube algorithm, okay, this is not investing advice, okay. Let's look at the Keltner channel. Okay, now based on the Keltner channel, we haven't even come up to retest the top of it yet. And the direction of the Keltner channel is looking like it's going to do something like this, right? Right. So if it came up to test the top, yes, we could hit 36K if it comes up to retest the top. It doesn't mean that it will. If you notice here, we couldn't even get up to the top. We couldn't even get up to the top. We couldn't even get up to the top. Okay, we couldn't even get up to the top. But when you see a successful test of the top and a rejection right off of it and then back through the bottom of the Keltner, that lets us know that the desired trend of the market is down. Again here, we tested the top. This was the trend change, okay? We tested the top, not a dollar over it, and then busted through the bottom. Okay. Over here, if you notice, you don't see any action passing through the bottom and closing through the bottom of the Keltner on the front side of the bull run. On the back side of a bull run, okay, on the back side of a bull run, action through the bottom is what you're going to get constantly as the Keltner works its way down. So a retest of 36,000 is not necessarily out of question. I mean, hell, we can retest 40. Right? The Keltner can always turn up, right? If you notice right here, it had a brief bump. But look at it when you zoom in, okay? Seriously, not a dollar over the top of the Keltner. Over here, not a dollar over the top of the Keltner. But you see all this action closing through the bottom? Look at these closes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 days closing in the bottom. Okay, closes in the bottom. Okay, you have a close in the bottom here, a close in the bottom here, a close in the bottom here. That makes sense? The Keltner helps you determine macro-sized trends, okay? All this action through the top is indicative of a bullish uptrend on the macro time frame. All this action through the bottom with with rejections on the top are indicative of a macro downtrend, right? Bearish momentum to the downside. Because over here, okay, and they didn't even close below, right? They just wicked below. So your bottom of the Keltner is support on the front side. Even right here. Okay? And again right here. No problem, Yvet. So, and then I'm gonna show you guys another indicator here, and it was pretty awesome. I saw Kirby use it, so I took some time to study it myself before I introduced it to you guys. So I won't introduce you some nonsense if I don't understand it. That's what's happening. It's too much influencers shilling you garbage because they don't even understand. Um, they don't even understand it themselves, and it is used on the weekly. Okay, so this is the 2013-2014 bull run, and I'll pull this up so you guys can see it. Okay, run was over right in here. If you notice, that's when you have your cross downward right there. Okay, the blue line dipping below signified the run was over. We come forward into the 2017-2018 bull run. The massive downside action, the blue drops below the red. Massive downward action. Now, because of the pandemic, you had several false crosses in here. Once the blue went back above, that's when you notice we started skyrocketing. Now, the blue has dipped below. And look where the blue dipped below at. Okay? The blue dipped below when we hit 57K. So what does that mean? That means all this action here was actually doomed from way back here on February 22nd. It just hadn't happened yet. Now, looking at these indicators, does it look like we're going to have a golden cross on the TSI anytime soon where the blue comes back above the red? Because remember, they still have to come down, right? And this one has to finish coming down and then come back up above it. And they could also just come around and just dance like this before coming back up. But right now, if you're not a seriously experienced trader or you're not in some type of coaching, like Ryan Matta's course, it is a dangerous time to be trying to trade inside of this distribution. So if you notice here on the daily, the action a few days ago couldn't even close above it. It just went through it, right? So that's a head fake. This was a head fake. Okay, if it was true action to the upside, we would have came above, right? Would have came above and bounced off of it and used it as support as we go up and make an ascending triangle, right? That would have made an ascending triangle, but we didn't. So being that we've been using this descending line as resistance, okay, and right there, boom, got rejected right off of it again. So expect price, again, like I said, to come down and try to retest 32. The only way it won't is if we go above this on the daily time frame, close above it, and use it as support. Oh, Sam, you're scalping it. Okay. Little Jimmy, $600 stimmy. Hey, Big Gray Beard, thank you, and welcome in. Thank you. I really appreciate that. So if you're looking at the daily, right? If you're trading on the daily time frame, that trend line I just showed you is the trend line to watch. Okay, every time frame is going to have a different trend to watch. Okay, so that's your macro downtrend. And if you want to draw out if we break below this successfully, it's going to come down and test that CME gap that exists right, it's right in here. Okay, there's a CME gap in here. And you know what caused it? This candle right here. That's what caused it. And so the whales that have orders right here, what are they going to do? I'm going to turn the boat back around and fill it. They have a lot more to lose than you do by not filling that gap. EOD Vet says, got owned on a BTC short, was down 7%, but managed to get out at about even. Kept my ETH short alive and sitting pretty. Yes, Sam. 90 95% of gaps get filled. Yes. If BTC drops to test 30K again, you think it smashes right through this time? 6 tests. It can if it doesn't plunge too fast. If it plunges too fast, it's going to pull down on the RSI too fast. That makes sense, Frank? If RSI takes a fast plunge, then it'll be a fast bounce. That's why all of these came right back up, right? That's why these came right back up, because they plunged too fast. I mean, you're talking about like with it hours, right? Not days. The reason why this action is holding, because it's happening over several days. When you just go boom like that, it comes right back up. So look at it on the RSI. Like if the RSI is coming down and then it just goes down and then it's coming up and then it goes boom, it's going to bounce it right back up. That help out, Frank? Actually, Sam, a new upcoming gem. It's been out for a while, but it was still in its testing, and it's getting ready to release its ecosystem. Radix. Okay, I'm actually going to be making a video on it. You know, Radix, and it is a great investment. Yep. And if we look at the hourly, there's your trend on the hourly. Okay. If you notice, and reason why I drew that as a trend, you notice it came down to test and it's just bounced off of it. Okay. If it bounces here, it's going to go up. Okay. but you need a candle close after it to confirm that it's bouncing up. Okay. If it breaks below, then after it confirms, it's going to come down. But again, right? This is the hourly. If I showed you some goofy nonsense like this, right? Doesn't this look like an accumulation if I show it to you like this? This is what they do. And they come over to the 4-hour and oh, you know, look at this. It's fitting perfectly, guys. It's fitting perfectly. Okay. They even, I mean, literally, this is what they do. This is what they do. And we can look at Ethereum. Okay, so that's Ethereum on the daily. Okay. Look at Ethereum on the hourly. Okay, so we bounced, and we just confirmed through it over the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours. If you notice, it went up to try to retest the uptrend, and it found resistance, which means that it's about to start a new downward trend. I would look for ETH to look for ETH to come through and try to retest about 2140s. I mean, there's still some more data needed, but again, even and I mean, if you went to the 15-minute time frame on ETH, right? See the retest, and each time it attempts to go to a retest, it has to go higher to try to reach it. So ETH could come higher, and it's going to find a rejection up around this $2,230 range, and that's going to form a double top, and it's going to come down. And again, it's going to try to, you know, come down and because you have a lot of confluence in here, right? A lot of confluence in here. That's why I drew that significant line right in there. Right? It's the same with down here. Okay, you have a lot of confluence in here and a lot of confluence down here. So what you can do to make that easier for yourself is you can do this. You can say Okay, this is my zone of confluence. When it gets inside of that zone, that's going to be my no trade zone unless it breaks below it or bounces off of it. And so how you do that is, right? If it busted through it, you made some good money on the way down. If it got a rejection, right? As soon as you saw the reversal and trend, you got out. You saw the rejection, you got in. Trend change pattern, you got out with a very tight stop loss, right? And you saw trend change up in here and you changed your stop losses along the way till you got inside the box, then you were golden, right? And you could have, potentially stayed in and rolled it all the way back up. Okay, because this right here isn't a threat if you got into the long down here. This is a threat if you waited too long to get into the position. So drawing boxes always helps out because you can create a zone for yourself. Frank says I'm banking on a massive crash. I mean, there's lots of alts that are already in DCA territory. EOD, use the native setting. Go to the daily, right? It's used on the daily. Yes, trading fibs works great too. Right? So if you turned the Keltner on Ethereum, right? Again, what do you see on the front side of the bull run? This is what I tell you guys. I do lots and lots of analysis, okay? What do you see on the front side? It comes through the top, right? It doesn't close below the bottom. So it's using the bottom as support. Then it comes back through the top. The bottom was support. Okay? Again here, bottom is support. Through the top. And then you have your trend change. Right? You have closes through the bottom. And it has just been unsuccessful with even getting to test the top as resistance yet. That tells you that ETH desired pattern is still down, right? It hasn't even made a retest of the top of the Keltner, which means that it's not even attempting to retest the all-time high. All right. I do this analysis for you guys because I want you to be able to have the best chances um, at success. And again, if you take this trend, right? Ethereum is still trapped in a downward trend, right? Resistance, resistance, resistance. Does that help? So here's Solana, right? Solana just got a daily close above the trend. So we could see Solana this could be a head fake. Remember, you always want a confirmation. Just because you get a close above does not confirm it. And as you saw with Bitcoin, a confirmation above the trend line could also be a head fake, right? A head fake. So after this massive crash, this is your reaction rally. A reaction rally is an attempt to retest all-time high. Okay? It's a failed attempt. Therefore, downward action continues. Right? So Solana right now is only about 42% off of its all-time high. If you were going to buy, you should have got it on June 22nd when it was 65% off. So I wouldn't purchase, I wouldn't DCA into Solana until it has hit that $20 range again. Okay? I mean, I can't give you guys investment advice, but that's just my it's my opinion. Jeez Louise, I don't know why my my chat is so humongous tonight. Should not be this huge. Frank, I had some stocks, but I got I got out of them because I saw what was coming, and I got out in profits. Right, I was about 150% in the profits on my cryptos. One of them I got in at like $4 and sold at like $24. Hey, thank you, Big Great Beard. Thank you, thank you. Frank, I've been researching crypto for 2 years, but research is what I do. Um, I graduated from the #1 research park in the world, which is Purdue University. I have 2 degrees from Purdue University. I have 5 degrees total. My first degree is law and society with a minor in sociology. My second degree is an MBA, and my third degree is real estate. My fourth degree is um, criminal justice and law enforcement administration, um, with a focus in organizational leadership and change management. And then my final degree was in public safety and private security. Just to give you guys a background on on my life. Of course, I'm a father of two. I have an 8-year-old and 12-year-old, both boys. Um, I spent time serving my country. Um, I now work as a paramilitary operator, and I am still a pro athlete. I'm just I took time off. Um, yeah, in 2019, I was indirectly struck by lightning that hit our street, and so I needed the time off to just heal my body. I also coach Little League football and the local high school track team. Um, I spent several years as a professional hurdler. I had some time with pro football. I had some time with pro mixed martial arts fighting, as well as professional motorcycle racing. Spent a little bit of time in the Marines. I came over to the Army. I was 0311 in the Marines. Came over to the Army. Decided to continue being infantry, and then I went the officer route. Became an infantry officer. You know, qualified airborne marksman, aka sniper, and then you know, pathfinder. Hey, thank you in return. I appreciate you. Yeah, and I also do lots of things, for the martial arts community. I have a brown belt in judo, black belt in karate. I'm an expert instructor in Jeet Kune Do. I spent years studying boxing um, to help train me for my fighting. I did my wrestling training with Tom Erickson, who was the former coach of Purdue, and now he's coaching at Duke. He also fought in Pride and was roommates over in Pride with Hendo, Dan Henderson. And while I was at Purdue, I also trained with Chris Flieger, NCAA champion All American. Ben Whistle was an NCAA All American. And John Fitch. All of them went to Purdue. I know to some people, the way I speak or just my voice in general might make me sound uneducated, but I am extremely educated. Oh, no problem, man. Oh, nice, ELD vet. Nice. What's interesting, my very first platoon, the unit didn't have any open slots for an infantry platoon, so they decided to um, unintelligently throw me a armor platoon since it was heavy brigade, and so with just Bradleys and tanks. Mind you, that's extremely dangerous to give someone command of a unit in which the vehicle platform that officer is completely untrained on. However, because I like research and I like hard work, I ended up outshooting the entire 1st Cavalry Division. I shot distinguished. Hey, thanks, Derek. Thanks. Nice, Frank. Nice. Yeah. One of my mentors is Art Davey, who helped, build the foundation for the UFC back when the Gracies owned it. That was way before Dana White was even around. So he's Art Davey's one of my mentors. Yeah, I hope you have a good time out there, Frank. Yeah, so what inspired me to start this channel actually is my buddy Derek, who's in the chat. I told him I was just, I was like, yeah, everybody has individual responsibility when it comes to finances. But when you're an influencer, you have the responsibility to be as honest and accurate as possible for people who follow you and got into this investment to try to change their lives. And all the shilling is getting people's lives destroyed. Oh, nice, Frank. Yeah, so there you guys have it. I feel I shouldn't just be, this physical ghost behind this voice that you guys hear every day. I feel you should actually get to know me as I'm learning to get to know you guys. You know, I think transparency is key. So just know that, whether I share informational video, whether I do live, it's to help you guys out, right? If I make a video and I say, hey, something has a potential 200x, it's because I've did the math on it. I've did the research on it. That proves that 100x is not only realistic, but it's actually it's an undershot of the actual price, the where the price could actually reach. I mean, look at Solana, right? Solana did more than 100x, right? From 50 cents to its peak, right? So its peak of its peak of $58. It's more than 100x from when it was way down. You know, here doesn't show far enough, but Solana was as low as 50 cents. Okay, does that make sense? Right? That's more than it's more than 100x. Okay, right? Look at that, 4,100%. Thank you, Debbie. Yeah, big gray beard. I want to be able to just do it full time. It'd be nice, and it definitely helps out. It would definitely help out my son. You know, my oldest son is a brain tumor survivor. He had a brain tumor the size of a golf ball, and he survived 6 brain surgeries, an ear surgery, 3 stomach surgeries, paralysis, half blindness, half deafness, multiple seizures, a stroke, um, pneumonia, um, heart failure, pulmonary failure. I mean, the list goes on and on of what that kid had to suffer, and he's still here today. And so everything I do is it's not for me. It's for my children. It's for other people. Yeah, Derek's in the chat. He's met my son, so I'm not shilling you guys a story just to try to you know buy your sympathy. I'm speaking 1,000% truth to you. And there's one other indicator I wanted to look at. Is it the yeah? Okay, so on the weekly, I believe it is. Yeah. So and Kirby was talking about this, right? If you take price and you look at the previous runs after it had started to decline, right? It came and tested all the way down here to negative 68 and went as far as negative 90. Negative 90. And of course, that's a drawdown in price. Look at all this heinous dump. What did you see it do? It come down below the halfway point until it dumped all the way out at 84. And here we are again. right? Here we are again. Look at where it started coming down at, right? And that's the same with RSI. What did I show you guys? That RSI was already declining way back when price hit 42,000 to the wick, right? To the wick. And this is on the weekly. And think about that. On the daily, it's the same exact thing. I can't make this stuff up to you, and I'll show you guys that in a little bit here. So look at this, right? It peaked out right where price had hit 42,000 even, and it's been on a steadily decline since then. And it's not even all the way down yet, guys, right? Look at this. It's only at 60 right now. So if you take that out, it still has lots of room to drop, which means that price isn't finished dropping yet. It crossed the halfway line, which means the run is over. Okay, we're just having reaction rallies. Now, I'll switch that to the daily and show you what I meant by matching it to the RSI. I definitely do my research, guys. And I love putting up charts live so you guys can see that, you know, I haven't messed with any of the data. The only thing you have to change, notice I don't turn them off, I delete them. So whenever you create the weekly exponential moving average, if you're looking for the 21 week, you have to change the input to 21 weeks because by default it's 9 weeks. So look at this, right? If you come in and look at the daily, the peak of the RSI for this entire run is on what day? The day price, if you look up at the top, right up here, look at this. It was the day that price topped out at 42,000. And we've been on a steadily decline since then, right? Look at that. Price is coming up. RSI had started going down days and days and days, right? Couple weeks before another 1, 2, 3 weeks, or not 3 weeks, but 3 segments of higher highs and higher lows. So this combined with this is indicative of a massive incoming decline. So this decline was doomed right here. Does that help everybody understand how I look at charts? Debbie, he's doing good now. He beat his paralysis. He's able to walk again. He still has balance issues, but he can walk. He can't see that far, but he can see. But he doesn't complain at all. Not one complaint. If something's bothering him, you literally have to drag it out of him. Yes, big gray beard. 42K should have been the top. But what happened is, you know, BitBoy invited institutions and corporations in, right? CryptoFace said it. He said, hey man, don't complain. You're the guys who invited the devil to dance. and now the devil's hitting you with a full-blown wick off. Okay, now it's not the pattern of the wick off that's important. Okay, the individual daily pattern is not what's important, it's the structure. Again, I show you guys cause and effect, right? Whales cause retails to mark up for them. Whales cause retail to mark up for them. Whales sell off, they cause retail to step in and sell for them. Whales sell here, again, retail will panic and bring it down here, and the whales will step in and reaccumulate. So cause, effect, cause, effect, cause, effect. So we're in a cause phase right now. The effect of it's going to be another markdown. And some people say, well, how long can it last? I mean, they can drag a micro distribution way out here if they want to. I can tell you right now, we're not going to be trapped. We're not going to be trapped in this range all the way out to September. I can tell you that right now. It's more or less, this is as far as it'll go inside this box. Okay, before August 1st, whales are going to do one or two things. They're going to force the retail investor to mark down, or they're going to strike a reaction rally where they're going to sell off again, and dumb money is going to buy in right here thinking that we're coming up here, right? Dumb money is going to try to make a quick flip, but they're going to pull it back down. So we could have a reaction rally, which is, again, it's a failed attempt at retesting all-time high. And in reality, what could have happened is this could have been the reaction rally. Again, a failed attempt to reach all-time high, and so a decline comes as a result of it. And if you guys want to understand, again, how to use the, my mountain-based theory. So this is your vertical line, your date. And again, date can be plus or minus 2 or 3 days. It still works the same. I did the math on it. And so that's where you're going to draw your base, okay? My theory states that after a phase E crossing happens before the primary markup, once price runs up and meets its peak, at some point it will come down and retest the base of the mountain. Right? At some point it will come down and retest the base of the mountain. You want to see that on these other time frames? This one and this one had the same level because of where it happened. So again, you'll hold on, I gotta stretch this out first so you guys can see it. Okay. It's hard to see unless you zoom in. Okay. Right. So you have your markup, your accumulation, then you have your secondary markup, your distribution. So markdown 1, this is your micro distribution. Markdown 2, and boom, retest complete in the base of the mountain. Again, reaction rally, retested the mountain on 2 different occasions. If you come down, and the reason why I said it worked for the 2019 rally, because look at this, right into your phase E. Now you see that is a macro accumulation, guys. Okay, this is your macro accumulation. That's what it looks like. So if you look at this, markup number 1, micro accumulation, markup number 2, your macro distribution, right? Markdown number 1, this is your micro distribution. Markdown number 2, completing the base of the mountain. Okay, so if I pull that out for you guys, you can see that the mountain base gets completed. Test, retest. Here we are again, coming up and going to come down for the retest. Yes. Yes, big great beard. Oh, nice, Sam. So that's what I want to show you guys for today. And you know, of course, yeah, oh, that's not what I wanted. Of course, I definitely started DCAing into my Solanium already. So we're still, even on that little pump, still 66% under. So I've already started DCAing into it. And I've got some AMP. I've got some DEX kit. I've got some card starter, some AT Finance. Okay, AT Finance is another hidden gem. And look at there, that baby is already sitting in some pretty nice range. Oh yeah, a complete, you know, $2,000 budget on this coin. If it does just go up to $1.79, and it can, because it has very limited supply. So 100x is again realistic for this specific coin. You'd profit a total of $845,000. And then there's Cartesi, right? So it's 74% off from its all-time high. All right, $2,000 budget. Just if it only hit $26, which is very realistic. A 15x is realistic for Cartesi, right? And when I say realistic, right, I'm not gonna get on here and say Cartesi to $200, right? To me, that's when you're shilling. Nano. I got some Binance and some Bitcoin, Bitcoins, and then the Golden Gem Cardano, right? And then everything can be tracked on my overall portfolio tracker, which is a live update of the market. So I really love Solanium. And you know, people saying, I mean, yes, new coins are typically very dangerous to get into. But remember, some of your greatest projects came out at a time where nobody was paying attention to them. right? They're looking at everything else that's already 50 bucks, 100 bucks, 500 bucks, $20,000. That's what they're looking at. So everybody looks past the coin that's 26 cents, right? They look past the coin that's 0.002 of a dollar. Yeah, Solanium, you can get it on gate.io. Yeah, well, and this is the thing for a coin that's so new and a lot of people don't know about, right? Because they think when you say Solanium that you're confusing it for Solana, right? But Solanium has the largest community in the Solana ecosystem, like 3 times the amount of second place. For those of you who missed that, when I showed that, I'll pull back up the the chart so you can see. You can get it on MXC as well. They have 100,000 followers on their Twitter, where now it's like 160,000. So look at this. Solanium has 619,000 holders compared to second, which is Radium, at 173,000. So that's 3 times the amount of holders, right? It's I'm telling you, the Solanium it's growing fast. And look, there's a lot of projects on the Solana ecosystem. Most noted is the Oracle project Chainlink, right? Everybody knows Chainlink. You know, a lot of people don't even know that Trust Wallet is under the Solana ecosystem. But what's unique about Trust Wallet is you can use it for the Sol ecosystem. You can use it for BSC. You can use it for Ethereum. You can use it for TRX. And there's other very notable projects on here too. Like I said, Radium, of course, Mercurial. Step Finance is another big upcoming one that I would say don't ignore. Oxy, Serum Network is huge. Okay. Graph, right? A lot of people don't know GRT is on the Solana ecosystem. But I've definitely started stacking into Radix. I'm telling you that is a hidden gem. That is a diamond in the rough. Cody, yeah, Cody's good. Cody's good. Cody is good. So yeah, but but that's so for instance here, I'm gonna show you guys something. Look at this, right? Bitcoin still to 100K. Bro, what evidence do you have that Bitcoin is going to 100K? Okay? There's no evidence to prove it. There's no evidence to back up on this chart at all that shows Bitcoin is going to 100K. Okay? But what I do see is a macro head and shoulders. What I do see is a declining RSI that is wanting to dip all the way down through September, which is going to drag price all the way down through September, October. But he's telling you guys, we're going to go way above what this chart can even see before October. I still see a declining trend that's been rejected not once but twice, with a macro downtrend on top of a macro downtrend, and a micro distribution that is literally days away from another markdown. I'm not gonna show you guys some crap like that. It'd be like if I told you guys that that Bitcoin was gonna go back to $5,000. $5,000 isn't gonna happen for Bitcoin anymore, right? If the whole world shut down again, I still think Bitcoin would stay above 10 grand. Maybe a minimum like 8 to 9. 5 not happening. Yeah, it does. It does, Big Gray Beard. Yeah, yeah. So the reason for these peaks like this in the past, right? In the past is because everything was paired to Bitcoin back here. Everything. If you watch my video on what has changed, you'll see, right? Now you have thousands of meme coins. Now you have decentralized exchanges. Bitcoin's not even involved. Now you have stablecoin pairing. Now you have ETH pairing, right? You have KRW pairing. How many of you are buying coins that are paired to Bitcoin only? Think about that. How many of you are buying coins that are paired to Bitcoin? That's what caused the altcoin run up the last bull run. That's what caused Bitcoin to have that quote unquote blow off top. Because in order to get to altcoins, everyone needed Bitcoin only. So you have the whole market rushing to buy nothing but Bitcoin. So it's spiking the price, and it dumped so fast within days because everyone is dumping it for altcoins. So as Bitcoin is dumping, altcoins are running. The reason why altcoins are falling exactly when Bitcoin falls this time around is because no one's dumping the Bitcoin into altcoins, right? Everyone's dumping it for stablecoin. Or where some exchanges, it lets you sell straight for fiat, right? On Coinbase or like Bitstamp, right? Crypto.com, where you could just sell for straight fiat. So that's all I have for you guys tonight. I really appreciate you guys for coming in. Thank you so much again, and please make sure to share my content, okay? So that everybody else has the opportunity to learn what I show and to get a chance to see what you guys are learning as well. So that's all I have. Have a great night. Be safe during the holiday weekend if you're in the U.S. and go get those gains. Mr. Rick is out. Let it go, ain't nobody go. Take our bodies high.